Hi, this is John Hawkins Jr., and this is video number 5 on my series on addiction. I want to start to present to you, I've developed a 4-phase, 4-module program on how to treat addiction that nobody's ever done before, that I've been using with my clients for some time now, of things after working with a couple thousand addicts that I've identified as the way to really treat addiction, really change a person's subcortical brain and nervous system. My experience working in treatment centers over the years, of these 4 domains that I've identified, maybe one gets partially touched. The other 3 don't get touched at all. And like I've mentioned in previous videos, it's really all this nervous system in the body, subcortical brain, that drives the addiction. So what I'm going to do over these next few videos is I'm going to take 4 videos beginning with tonight and focus on explaining each one of these domains, and then actually what I do to really change things and resolve the core issue for someone struggling with any kind of compulsive behavior or addiction. So, the reality is what we do really doesn't work that well. If you look at, statistics, even though statistics can be bent a little bit here and there and all that kind of stuff, it's really 80 to 90% unsuccessful rate in treating addiction. And the reality is the 10 or 15% that they say is successful only really is assessing whether someone's using drugs or alcohol anymore. But they're not really saying, are they gambling? Are they using pornography? Are they binge eating? Are they compulsively working? Are they compulsively caretaking? All these different kind of things. So I would say that number would shrink even more. So the first area, the first domain that has to be addressed is, I talked in an earlier video about the emotions, which are biochemical energy in our body, have to be integrated. All through our life, we split off things that our nervous system we can't handle. That whether it's an emotion, a thought, a memory, a behavior, in severe trauma, even a whole part of myself will split off, and I could have consciousness of it, not consciousness of it. And so then what happens is any associated cue in the present will bring this stuff in, dysregulate me again, and I either use to suppress this, or I'll kind of go into a dissociative state where I'm not really in my conscious mind anymore, and I act out and use this compulsive behavior. So what I'm doing in therapy is we really have to work with the nervous system and create what's called neuroplasticity. So whatever it is that's split off, whether it's a certain emotion I can't handle. So let's say, I was very young and my parent died and I had this overwhelming grief, and no one ever really helped me with this grief. So now when it comes up, it just really floods me and overwhelms me. So then I have to help that person get in touch and get connected to that grief and really help slow it down for them, so it can come all the way through now and release from their system. And that also is going to internally strengthen them, catch the rest of them up who got frozen in time and stuck back there with this, blocked dissociative grief, where now I can start to deal with sadness and grief, and it doesn't overwhelm me, and it doesn't cause me to seek out compulsive behaviors in a way to regulate it. It could be anger. Like I mentioned, I had maybe have to block my anger because it was adaptive for me as a kid to do so. And so now I either break out into a rage, or I get so much anxiety when I feel angry and I go eat or get drunk or whatever it is, watch porn to regulate this behavior. So there's a variety of methods. I've studied a lot of different types of therapy, and I develop a system where I integrate probably about 5 or 6 models that I really like, and blend them kind of in my own way of using them, that I found really effective to start to integrate and change these things. And so these split off parts of self, emotions, all that kind of stuff have to get reintegrated, which is an emotional process of bringing this back into kind of my core center, and so the rest of me can move on. And then in addition to that, I have to finish my emotional development, because if I get stuck back there, or parts of me get stuck back there, my intellectual development may have gone on just fine, but then my emotional development, I could be 8, 12, 15, 18, and that is, I gotta learn how to use these emotions in an adaptive way. Like an example is, so let's say as a child, if I felt really overwhelming feelings of sadness that were connected to feeling alone, if I had an attuned parent and I had an environment that would really nurture that, I could learn that, they teach me this is what this feeling means, is I feel lonely, and then I go seek connection, and then this painful feeling goes away. So it led me to what I needed. And then as an adult, now I learned how to use these feelings to drive me towards what I need, inform me of what I need, and get my needs met. So let's say as a kid though, no one shows me how to do this and I have this painful, lonely feeling. So I discover, oh, I can go open the fridge and eat a bunch of food and this lonely feeling goes away. Or I get exposed to internet pornography and I learn that, oh, I can watch pornography or masturbate and this feeling goes away. Or I can engage in some kind of act. Maybe I go vandalize things, break things, whatever it is, and I discharge a bunch of this energy. But in all three examples, I don't get what I need. And so now I become an adult who just acts compulsively and impulsively when these feelings come up for me. So first, again, integrating the overwhelming split off feelings and split off material that I had to dissociate from, and now helping the person get these skills, which we all have the innate capacity to have, then learn how to meet my needs on an emotional level and how to share those with other people, how to connect with other people, share my emotions with them, help understand their emotions, all this kind of process. And so it's a developmental repair and completion and a lot of integrative work and splitting returning these split off things. Some small pieces of this get done in treatment, and in a lot of places defense, it's you got 30 days in most situations, which is not a lot of time to do a lot of this work. But this I would say would be the biggest core bulk of the work would be this kind of thing, is overcoming all these defenses we use and these compulsive behaviors so I can heal from this dissociative stuff, and then developmentally complete and learn how to use my emotions in the adaptive way that they're intended to, So that would be domain one. Now, I could do hours on domain one, and like I said, the bulk of the work is going to be in domain one. But I want to at least educate people and help you understand, this area of the work and why it's so important and necessary. And without this capacity, there is no possible way you can stay sober. You're going to engage in some compulsive behavior. You may say, again, I'm sober because I don't drink or use drugs, but I'm obese, I'm chain smoking, I'm drinking mad amounts of coffee and energy drinks, I watch pornography frequently, whatever it may be. I'm compulsive relationships, chasing these highs, which leads to just basically a very dysfunctional train wreck of a life. So any questions you want to send me, you can reach me at jonh@gatewaycounseling.com. Also on our Facebook page, Gateway Counseling Center, the Mind Zone group. It's an open group. You can just request to join and I'll let you in there. And it's a format for any questions, not just on addiction, but anything to do with relational, emotional, spiritual health, all these kind of things. And then you can join us starting next Thursday, I believe it's September 6th. 2018, Thursdays at 7 p.m. every week we'll be doing a Facebook Live. So that's Thursdays at 7 p.m. Facebook Live every week. I look forward to seeing you there. And during that time, I just take an open forum for any questions you have. I'll answer, any and all questions within that 1 hour that we allot for that time there. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to sharing the other 3 modules with you in addition to this first one. All right, thanks a lot for taking the time to listen, and share this with anyone that you think could benefit from you, and I'd be greatly appreciative of that.